I returned to school on Tuesday, welcoming some normality, some routine back into our lives. I'm delighted to be teaching again, to interact with my class, and to gossip with Cara. I'm so busy over the next few days that I push everything else to the back of my mind. Well, it's just there niggling away at me like an ache. I'm tired as I trudge home from work on Friday evening. It's been a busy day. A year one child threw up outside the receptionist's office. A parent came in to complain that her son wasn't being moved up the reading levels quickly enough. And I had to get to the bottom of why one of the year twos deliberately ripped up a library book in a fit of temper. After so many restless nights, I can hardly think straight. The rain begins to fall as I turn into our street, seeming in my bad mood. I see Evelyn sitting in her chair by the window. It's permanently dark because of the weather, but she doesn't have a lamp on. I wave, but she doesn't wave back. My mind is foggy with tiredness. All I want to do is convince Jamie to get a takeaway and flop in front of the telly to watch that affair. My heart falls when I see D.S. Bryant sitting at our kitchen table. He stands when he sees me. He's wearing the same bench Macintosh, and I can see a stain down the front that looks like brown sauce. He has a mug in front of him, the one with a triangular chip at its rim that we should have thrown away years ago. I can't believe Jamie has given it to him. Jamie pushes back his chair, relief on his face. I told D.S. Bryce everything we know, he says, before I even sit down. I drop my bag by the chair and shrug off my jacket. Shrug off my shoulder. What? The air in the kitchen feels oppressive, with a faint tang of spicy noodles that Jamie might have cooked for his lunch. Right. I glance at Brian's. Jamie told you that we think the man at Lizard Point is the same person who pretends to be Philip Haywood. Yes, he's filled me in on everything. We are trying to ascertain who might have had a key to Haywood's property. Do you think, I go, that a murder took place there? I can't reveal that at the moment, I'm afraid, Miss Hall. Although I can say that the clothing has been examined and it doesn't belong to Mrs. Haywood. The blood isn't human either. Not human? You mean it belongs to an animal? Yes. We think it might have been put in the garden to frighten you. We also trying to discover whether this is something personal against yourself or Mr. Hall, or whether it's a scam. He clears his throat. Have you noticed anything missing from your property? Jewelry or any items that could be worth something? I frown. No, nothing. It's one of the first things I did when returning from Cornwall. Not that we have much in the way of valuables. And you changed the locks. I nod. As soon as our upstairs neighbors told me that Philip Haywood, or who we thought was Philip Haywood, hadn't returned the key. That's great. I'll be in touch when we have any more information. He inclines his head toward Jamie. Thank you, Mr. Hall, for the updated statement. That was helpful. I almost expected him to doff his hat at us, if he was wearing one. There was something reassuring, old-fashioned about him. Jamie sees him out and I switch the kettle on, smiling to myself when I hear Jamie bounding into the kitchen. Isn't it good news, he asks? There didn't seem to be any news. He just wanted more information from you, didn't he? Yes, but I think he believes us. He said he's going to speak to Evelyn, and she affirmed that a man came to pick up the key from her, and that what he looked like. Honestly, for a while there, Lives, I thought we might get arrested for murder or something. I laugh, although it sticks in my throat. All I can think about is that someone deliberately soaked the woman's underwear in animal's blood to scare us. About 20 minutes later, Jamie is ordering a takeaway, and I'm pottering in the kitchen when I heard the sound of knuckles rapping urgently on our front door. Oh, my bad. I could see the kitchen window a flash of D.S. Bryant's bench coat, the rain falling heavily onto his head and shoulders. I clutch under my breath, wonder why he's back so soon. Maybe Evelyn has revealed something he needs to ask us about. I shuffle to the door in my two large slippers, my dressing gown wrapped around me. I changed out of my suit the minute the detective left. I feel bloated and uncomfortable. I opened the door and let him in out of the rain, a gust of cold air in his wake. He stands in the hallway, his eyes narrowed, making him look even smaller behind his thick glasses. I'm so sorry to bother you again, Miss Hall, but I can't get hold of your neighbor. I've been knocking for ages and I can see her in the window, but she's obviously too scared to answer. They killed the neighbor! I was wondering if you would come with me. Maybe she sees you, then she'll answer. I know some old people don't like to open their doors when it starts getting dark. I swallowed down a sigh and grabbed my raincoat from his peg, kicking off my slippers and shoving my feet into a pair of willies. I don't get the chance to tell Jamie where I'm going because I follow D.S. Bryce to Evelyn's door. Most windows along are illuminated by the soft glow of lamps or overhead lights, but Evelyn's house is shrouded in darkness. I can see in the window. I lean over the window to tap on the glass, careful not to fall onto the sharp spikes or to lose my balance. I imagine landing with a seeking thug outside our kitchen window. Jamie finding me prostrate on the pavement outside our front door. Evelyn, it's only me, I call, but my voice drifts away into the rush hour traffic building up along the main road. Who lives above Miss Goodwill, says D.S. Bryce. Nobody. I tap the glass again, trying not to lose my footing. It's a 2-story building. The basement where we live was converted and sold separately. Why isn't Evelyn answering me? And why is her head slumped back against her head where she's dead? Her favorite chair. She can barely make the stairs anymore, but she's lived here more than 40 years. I turn to him, trying to quell the worry lodged heavily in the pit of my stomach. I think something's wrong. I can't see properly over the railing, but she doesn't look like she's moving. She could be asleep, but she's 80. Understood. I'm going to have to break in. What the hell is going on? Jamie's suddenly standing on the pavement, in the rain, watching us. You disappeared. I was worried. I fight back tears. Evan's not answering the door, Jay. Can you go and get the spare key? D.S. Bryce looks relieved not to have to break the door down. You have a key? Why didn't you say that? You didn't ask. We swapped keys just in case either of us ever got locked out. Although she doesn't go very far nowadays. I pull the coat around me, shivering. Jamie's back within seconds. He darts up the stairs to join us, turning the key in the lock definitely. The heavy front door swinging open. I run past him, the others close behind. I know before I even enter the room that she's dead. But I rush to her anyway. My insides twitching with grief to see her sitting in her favorite chair. The yellow baby booty she been knitting on the floor by her feet. Her beautiful blue eyes staring into nothing. Her hand on her chest as though, as death approached, she been willing her heart to keep beating. Oh, Bo Chapter 20. I spent most of my Saturday in bed crying. Jamie can't understand why I'm taking her death so hard. How can he when he is constantly in the bosom of his heaving, loving family? He only knows what it's like to be loved unconditionally. I haven't experienced that type of material love in a long time. And it wasn't as though Evelyn loved me. We only knew each other for 2 years. But I could tell she cared about me. That she was on my side. She was the closest thing I had to a grandmother, and now she's gone. Her last words to me play on loop in my mind. She implied that I shouldn't trust my husband. Why would she say that? I think again of those cards Martin accused Jamie of sending to Anna. The secret he shares with Hannah. What had Evelyn been alluding to? I done missed the thought straight away. Feeling disloyal to Jamie for even entertaining the idea. But it keeps creeping back into my mind, needling away at me. I always been so sure that Jamie would never cheat on me. That he takes our marriage vows seriously. He is a black and white kind of guy. No gray areas for him. He can give me a fearing rating sometimes, but that's why I love him. Yet what if I'm wrong? What if I'm one of those women who's blind to what's going on under her nose? Is everything that's happened to us now because of Jamie? What's that saying? Hair has no fur like a woman scorned? Who has Jamie scorned? The thought of losing him is so painful it makes me feel sick. He's the only person I have left. He walks into the room carrying a tray of tea and toast. Would he be so kind to me like this, I reason? If he was having an affair? Hell yeah. Guilt insists the voice inside my head. Guilt is why he's bringing you breakfast in bed. And Jamie has kept things from me before. The loan from his mother for one thing. He still doesn't think I know about it. But I heard him talking about it in low voices. He's been unable to set up the business without her help. I still don't understand why he couldn't just tell me. Pride, I suppose. And he knows I hate the thought of owing his mother anything. Are you alright, Lips? He says now, placing the tray across my lap as though I'm a patient in the hospital. He sits on the edge of the bed. I'm so sorry about Evelyn. A still snakes out the corner of my eye, and I grab the tissue from beneath my PJ sleeve. After constantly sniffing as a child due to hay fever, my mom always made me carry a tissue. It's a habit I can't break. And in a strange way, it makes me think of her, knowing that she cared about me in her own way. Thank you for this, I say, indicating the breakfast. The tissue damp is starting to break up between my fingers. He opens his mouth to say something, but then closes again. I know what he's thinking. That this isn't just about Evelyn. It's about losing my mom too. I sense him contemplating whether to bring up counseling again. At this point, girl, you need some counseling. I take a sip of tea, assessing him over the rim of my mug. He rubs his eyes. His blonde hair is damp from the rain, and he looks rugged handsome in his old criminal scream t-shirt and jeans. I yearn to reach over and kiss him, but something stops me. He's smiling at me, but it's too sad, too fake. I put the cup down. What is it? What's wrong? His smile slips. It's been a stressful few weeks, and I didn't want to worry you with this, he says, looking down into his lap. It's then that I know it's the baked statement in his hand. I've spoken to D.S. Bryce, and we think it might be the same person who's responsible for opening a catalog account under your name. And all those annoying pamphlets and circulars you keep receiving. I'm angry that he went straight to D.S. Bryce instead of talking to me about it first. The tip of my fingers tingle when I resist the urge to snatch the letter out of his hand. What does it say? His voice is strained when he replies, our bank account has been emptied, and someone has opened a $4,000 credit card in your name and spent all the money. I know. Luckily, our account wasn't that flush at the time. They only took $700. Only. It could have been worse. And the credit cards, that's a bit more difficult. We're going to have to prove you didn't open that. They had all your details. National insurance number, bank account numbers. Which means y'all did not do the fucking... That means when y'all was supposed to be cutting off the cards and checking, y'all didn't do that shit. They didn't do that shit. She just said, oh, she just keep forgetting about shit. The writer's making this, you know what, writer? They die? Okay. They die? They die? Okay. Okay, writer. Okay. Okay. I'm over it. I'm over it now. I push the tray aside, suddenly losing my appetite and jumping out of bed, pulling my dressing gown on. Who would do this to us, Jamie? Why go through such lengths? Someone seriously fucked up. That's who, said Jamie darkly. Do you know anyone like that, Libby? Anyone from your past? I ran on him, my cheeks burning. Do you? The bag, Libby. It was a backpack. Could it mean something? Why? What does it have to mean something? Why does it have to do something with me? This could be about you. A woman who you screwed, perhaps. There seem to be a few. Not this again, he mumbles, his face crestfallen. Why won't you believe me? My anger vanishes as quickly as it rises. I'm sorry, I say, going over to him. It just doesn't make sense, Jay. None of this makes sense. Has someone organized this whole house swap just so they could get into our flap and write some side things to steal enough details open bank statements? Accounts? I read newspaper articles about the elaborate length scam artists go through. But why us? Why not one of the bigger houses down the street? There are many more valuable houses in Bath, like Martin and Anna's, for example. Why choose our small basement flat? Unless it was personal. Jamie plants a kiss on my mouth. It feels functionally rather than not loving. Why do I feel like those events are forcing us apart rather than together? He stands up and stretches his long legs. You had a shock with Evelyn's death. I'll sort this out. It will be all right. I'm touched by his optimism. It's like having the old Jamie back, the one I met first, who had taken a broken, defensive girl with enough baggage for a year's holiday around the world, and breathed life back into her as though he was a paramedic. I can't record with Jamie, with the one that Jamie warned me about, the one who keeps secrets and tells lies, who maybe has affairs with a married neighbor. But our personalities are manifested, aren't they? Maybe those traits are part of him, and I'm only beginning to realize. I can hear him clattering around the kitchen, entering the dishwasher and putting the crockery and glasses away. Usually he has to be reminded to empty the dishwasher. He obviously wants to keep busy, I tell myself, pushing away any disloyal thoughts that is guilt vanishing him. I'm popping out, Lips, he calls from the kitchen. I'll be a few hours. See you later. Before I can answer, the front door slam. Where's he going? I rush to the kitchen window and pull aside the blinds, but there's no sign of him. The pavement above empty and slick with rain. Ziggy whines, and I turn to him lying desperately on the wooden floor, his head between his paws, looking up at me with his big brown eyes. Jamie usually takes Ziggy when he goes out. I crouch down to comfort him. I'll take you for a walk. Let me just have a shower, I say, kissing the top of his fluffy head, inhaling his comforting doggy scent. I'm just about to go back into the bedroom when I know it's Jamie's laptop on the kitchen table. He usually keeps it in the study. Working at the weekend now too. He's still starting out, so he doesn't have that many clients. In fact, he complained only a few nights ago that he isn't busy now that 2 potential clients are pulled out. decided to go another way. It worried him. I could tell by the creases in his forehead as he told me, trying to appear casual with his legs stretched out in front of him and his laptop resting on his knees. Yet his voice gave it away. It had been tinged with panic question of how will we cope financially left unspoken. I don't know what makes me do it. It's something I've never even considered in the past. Maybe it's what Evelyn said. Her last words to me still fresh in my mind. I lift the lid of his laptop. He has a picture of two of us as his wallpaper. Ziggy squashed between us, our arms around his neck. It was taken last summer, a few weeks before we got married, in his mom's garden. It's the same photo I have on my phone. We both look tan. My dark frizz swept to the side, a contrast to his dirty blonde mop. Our eyes shining with happiness, our eyes wide and sappy with love. The top of Ziggy's fluffy head reaching to just under our chins. A lump flums in my throat. I snapped the lid shut. What am I thinking? I can't spy on my husband. I knock at the door, shadows the silence, and Ziggy leaps to his feet, emitting a deep bark. I go to the door, opening it halfway, conscious that I'm still in my dressing gown. A man is standing in front of me, good looking, in his early 20s. Yes? I'm looking for Jamie Hall, he says in a foreign accent I can't quite place. He's not here at the moment. Can I help you? Can I help? There's something about the man's expression that unnerves me, cocky, arrogant, his body language too familiar. He said he would meet me here, but he didn't say anything about a three-way. His eyes traveled to my bare legs as though following an invisible line, stopping where the Virgo dressing gown meets my calves. What are you talking about? The average, he says, frowning, suddenly assuring himself. He lowers his voice. The sex? What? I closed the door in his face. My heart pounded. The sex? But in the middle of the afternoon, in broad daylight? You bitch! He shouts through the door, and then the sound of his boot kicking the wood. Ziggy begins barking furiously. If you don't leave right now, I'll call the police, I scream back, fleeing into the kitchen so that I can watch as she strides up the steps to the pavement above. I see him pause when he reaches the top and then strolls on as if nothing untoward has happened. Evelyn's words flash through my mind. I noticed men. Now I was the same man, but different men, lurking around outside, as if they are waiting. I opened Jamie's laptop and Googled his name, already having an idea of what I might find. I have strolled through numerous Jamie Halls until I found what I'm looking for, and despite my suspicions, my mouth froze with saliva when I clicked on the lurid porn website advertising Jamie's services. It's more to it. It's more to it. We're not gonna write him off like that. It's more to it. It's more to it. Chapter 21. I placed the flag, unable to settle. I ring Jamie's mobile, but there's no answer. Where the hell is he? I try to keep busy to ward off my unease. I shower, dress, and take Ziggy for a walk via Anna and Martin's house. It's a Saturday, but Jamie left in such a hurry this morning that I can't help the flame of suspicion that flickers in my mind. Is there some truth to Martin's accusations? No smoke without fire, right? Is Jamie with Anna at this moment? As we approach their house, I notice Anna in the driveway, pulling down the lines out of the front garden. Martin's car isn't on the drive. Even weeding, she looks glamorous. A scarf tied around her dark hair and wearing skinny jeans that hug and flatter. I hesitate by the entrance. Dare I approach her? As if sensing my presence, she stands up and turns around, her eyes widening when she notices me. Can I help you? She says. She asks, walking toward me. Her voice is soft and well molecular, but her eyes are wary. She's wearing gardening gloves with a red ginger hand print. I try to work out her age. She can't be more than 30 at the most. But the way she holds herself, with a kind of self-assurance, reminds me of some of the mothers at the school. I can feel myself blushing. I'm Libby, Jamie Hall's wife. Recognition dawns. I see. I don't think you do. Could we have a quick chat? She frowns, her gaze taking in Ziggy as though worried he'll mess up her front line. I notice she's wearing red lipstick, which enhances her olive complexion. She reminds me of Nicole Schwarzenegger. I don't think there's anything to chat about, do you? My husband didn't see those scars, I exclaim. I don't know why it's so important for me to tell her. Maybe it's pride. I don't want her to think that my husband has a crush on her. I don't know why you think he did. A smile plays on her lips. Maybe because he signed them. Saying what? Jamie Hall? Don't you think that's a bit weird? Including his surname? She looks unconvinced, as if she's used to being sent romantic cards and memo videos from lovesick admirers. Do you even know Jamie? I blurt out. I wait, my throat dry for a response. Ziggy pulls on his lead, and I pat his head to reassure him. Ayanna appraises me with cold-rimmed eyes, and then she shakes her head. We're never spoken, she admits, apart from a brief good morning. Relief surges through me, thank God. But, she asks, I've seen him around quite a bit. He's cute. So, your cheating ass over here looking at my husband, so you know you want to make him be a cheater? If you don't go, if you don't take a look, if you don't go. She watching me for a reaction, but I charge on. The thing is, we think we're victims of some type of scam. The police are investigating. We did a house swap. Now things are missing and weird stuff is happening. Jamie didn't send you the cards, but we don't know who did. I pause. My heart racing. I just want to let you know that. She shrugs. Fine. She transfers her shears from one hand to the other. Is that all? She raises a perfectly groomed eyebrow. They are so perfect. In fact, they look like they've been tattooed on. Yes. Thanks, I mumble. Good. Nice to meet you, she says, and then turns on her heels. She's actually wearing heels to garden in, and strunts back down her driveway. I've only been back in the flat half an hour before Jamie walks in. He has a streak of dirt on his face and dark patches on his knees of his jeans. What has he been doing? Where have you been? I rang your mobile and you didn't answer. He can't meet my eye. He snaps the kettle on and then leans against the counter playing with his phone. Helping out a friend. Why? Because while you were out, a man turned up here asking for you. He wanted sex. His head whipped so fast it's actually comical. What? Yes, that's right. He was looking to have sex with you. And then I realized why. I lift the lid of his laptop. The porn site is still on the screen. Jamie rushes toward, his face ashen. The website was explicit, advertising bisexual Jamie Hall, who is up for anything with either sex, particularly hardcore bondage. In the photo, he looks so young and handsome, in jeans and a white t-shirt, in a white shirt. He must have been about 19. Hannah. The photo would have taken around the time they were going out. Has she done this? I dismissed the thought immediately. Hannah loves Jamie. Why would she do something so horrendous? I've never seen this website. You do know that, don't you? He's just gripping the edge of the table as though to moor himself to the room. Of course I do. Shocked that he would think I'm doubt him. Where did they get my picture? He shakes his head. I can't believe a guy turned up here. Christ lives. Anything could happen to you. He turns to me, his eyes full of fear. It upsets me to see him like this. It's usually me that's afraid. I don't think we should stay here at the moment. I sigh. Ever since that man turned up, I've been thinking the same. I googled my name, but nothing came up. Yet it doesn't mean that there isn't something about me somewhere on the web offering my services. But where would we go? We can't afford to stay in a hotel, especially now. I think we should move in with my mom, just for a bit. Oh no. We're finna stay in this motherfucking house and we're gonna work this shit out. My heart sinks. Or we could stay in the coach house at the bottom of the garden, I say, liking the idea much better than sharing the house with Sylvia and Katie, regardless of how much space they have. His cheeks color. Well, Hannah and Flex are staying there at the moment. She can't afford the rent of her place anymore, and don't look at me like that, Libby. And you didn't tell me this shit? You didn't think this was something I needed to know at all? A little piece of you didn't feel any fucking type of way about your ex staying with your motherfucking mama. The fuck? You finna divorce me and marry this bitch? You definitely ain't staying at your mama's house now. You know me. That's why I was on my angle. What? She's been having financial trouble. That's what she didn't want me to tell you. She's embarrassed. Her ex isn't paying child support. She's only got a part-time job at the estate agent. It doesn't pay much. She couldn't keep up the payments on the flat she was renting, and well, I've been trying to help her. Financially? Jamie, we haven't got much money ourselves. He says, I know that. But I said I have a word with Mom, who then offered Hannah the coach house rent-free. That's incredibly generous of Sylvia. Why didn't you tell me? Because I know you wouldn't like it. Is that your philosophy on our marriage then? You keep things from me that you know I won't like? What else are you keeping from me? He runs a hand over his face and groans. We can't keep going over this again. We got more pressing things to worry about. This is fucking pressing. Fuck all the other shit that we need to talk about this, because this is about to destroy our fucking marriage. Because you sneaking around with your fucking ex and with her trying to fix her fucking life like this shit ain't falling apart over here. What the fuck is wrong with you? Because right now, this has become the important fucking topic that we need to talk about right here. Like this fucking website with my name and our address all over it. Just get it taken down then. I hiss. You're in it. I'm sure you can find a way. I push my chair back so hard it crashes to the floor. We both stare at it in surprise. I'm about to flounce off with Jamie stands to grasp my arm. Liz, please don't. I burst into tears. This is a nightmare, Jamie. I feel like we're in a nightmare. He cradles me to him, I know. And Evelyn's dead. I sob into his t-shirt. I can't believe she's dead. Then a thought strikes me. I stand back. The neck of his top is wet with my tears. Is that where you were this morning? Helping Hannah move? We got all this bullshit fucking going on, and you mean to tell me you left me in this fucking house by myself to go help this bitch move? What about her husband and her fucking kids? The fuck is you? Oh! Divorce! Lawyer! I know this the only nigga that we know, but this nigga got to be the only nigga that we want to eliminate at this point. So you left me here crying over Evelyn, to go and help Hannah move? I'm sorry. I promise. I didn't know Evelyn was going to die. I was only gone for a few hours. She just needed some help moving the heavier stuff. And she couldn't get a removal van. She couldn't afford it. You should have told me, Jay. I could have helped too. But Hannah wouldn't have wanted that, would she? She wants you out of herself. He looks shamefaced it. And then you gotta sneak over to this bitch because she wants you to herself, and you already know this, but you keep doing this. Like I'm not supposed to feel some type of fucking way. Divorce, the motherfucking divorce. He looks shamefaced, and I'm such an idiot, Libby. I'm so sorry. I should have told you. I don't know why I didn't. I was going to, and then Evelyn died, and you got enough on your plate. I just thought I'll pick up the chair on the floor and set it down heavily. I want to hurl abuse at him, but I feel so tired that all I can do is sink further into my chair. What is the point of arguing about it now? He's right. We have more pressing matters to worry about, like the website. That ain't your problem. Fuck that. Call Hannah. At this point, I'm saying petty shit. Like call fucking Hannah and have her fucking fix this shit. Since you all up in her fucking life. The fuck? We don't got more pressing issues than my motherfucking feelings. Sorry, not fucking sorry. The fuck you mean we got more pressing issues? Last time I checked, this is your fucking name on this fucking website, not my fucking name. We might be married, but you damn sure wasn't married when you walked out of this motherfucking house and go help and went and helped another motherfucking bitch with her own fucking kid. No, the fuck you didn't. Pointing at the offended page still showing on the screen. He sits down next to me. Seriously, someone must really hate us, Liz, to go through all this trouble. That's what scares me. No, because at this point, I'm packing my shit and I'm leaving. Someone really hates you. I don't know. All I know is they bought me a backpack and a motherfucking wig. They don't hate me. They probably want me to kill you.